All right, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like Julian Nagelsmann is absolutely the hot favorite. There are some concerns that I want to discuss with you guys. Let's go.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another installment edition of Chelsea Late Night Latest News, and it's all about Julian Nagelsmann at the moment. He seems to be the clear-cut favorite. I don't really understand why the owners are dilly-dallying around Luis Enrique. Seems like all the favor, like sort of the confidence is towards Julian Nagelsmann. All the favoritism, that's the word that I was looking for. All the favoritism seems to be towards Nagelsmann. So I'm not really sure why they're trying to waste time with Luis Enrique. I might as well just go out there and get this guy and, wrap things up. As I've always said, I don't mind Julian Nagelsmann as the manager, but I've just got a few concerns that needs to be mitigated, and I hope you guys can help me out with that. So look, let's check out the news, then I'm going to give you guys my opinion on the pros and the cons, and then we can come into a bit of a conclusion on it. All right, first up, ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Vivell and Lawrence Stewart are understood to believe Julian Nagelsmann would suit Chelsea well. Stewart himself and Paul Winstanley are completing a thorough process before handing a final recommendation to Todd Bowley and Baghdad Iqbali. So I think that thorough process that we're talking about here hopefully covers some of the concerns that I have, and some of the concerns that you guys might have as well. So hopefully those are the things that are getting covered. Next up is Chelsea man Julian Nagelsmann on Thursday. So we reported this a few days ago in one of the videos that both, I think, Luis Enrique and Nagelsmann have met for the second time. I think they're in line to meet again, but they've met last week on Thursday, and they seem to be impressed with both of them. But I think the favoritism is towards Julian Nagelsmann. Julian Nagelsmann is still the leading candidate to become Chelsea manager. Talks are ongoing. This is from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea are following Ruben Amorim's football at Sporting in order to get a full picture of the coach, but he's seen as a step behind in the race at the moment. No talks with Pochettino, once again from Fabrizio Romano. So look, I think the clear-cut candidates are Julian Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique. Everyone else is, to be honest, is very much an outside chance. Once again, as I sort of repeat this again, is I don't get why you're looking to see other opportunities. I mean, unless you fear that some parts of the board or some parts of the ownership may not be convinced with Julian Nagelsmann, or you fear that Julian Nagelsmann himself, if something else comes up, I don't know, if the Real Madrid job comes up, maybe he might go, and you're wanting to have a contingency plan. So maybe from a contingency plan point of view, perhaps it's not the bad situation to look at other managers, but you want a particular manager that you want to select next up to be fully convinced with your project and what you want from that manager in the long run, with the kind of mess that we have right now. Luis Enrique has been approached by some national sides. Look, I'm starting to think it's going to be really Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann will have the conversation with Chelsea's owners and directors. He's going to present his project and ideas, and he's going to have to do that with the players that we have, with the kind of mess that we're in. I think the players are in a massive mental shock at the moment. Their confidence is taking a deep dive. We need to hear from the prospective managers, how will you change that? How will you manage this? How will you manage some of the egos that we may have in our team? Do you know what I mean? Like some of these players, people talk about me, who are the egos? Look, some of our players earn a lot of money. And when you earn that level of money, there's going to be some form of ego definitely instilled inside them. So how do you manage that? Of course, a lot of the players that potentially may be causing issues in the team right now, and the ones that have been reported, I don't always buy into it, but these are the ones that, some of the journalists always talk about, the likes of Christian Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech, and XYZ, and they're probably going to move on. So Julian Nagelsmann doesn't need to worry from that front. But the new playing group, the people that have come in, sooner or later, we will start seeing some form of ego from them because they're superstars. They're superstars. So how do you manage that? It's going to be very, very important. Nagelsmann has many friends on Chelsea's board. Now, look, it's great that he has some connections with the board members, Christopher Vivell being the clear-cut one, and that could be an advantage. But at the same time, I'm not really sure whether, I want friends. Like, it can be a bit muddy at times when you have friends in the hierarchy level, because they may overlook everything. Can they always be honest and just, I suppose? So look, it can have advantages and it can have disadvantages as well. Now, let's talk about this entire thing. First up, Julian Nagelsmann. What have we learned? We've learned that he's definitely the clear-cut favorite. From a tactical point of view, I don't have any issues with Julian Nagelsmann. I think Julian Nagelsmann will do a fantastic job in that regards. You look at his time at Hoffenheim, you look at his time at Leipzig, Hoffenheim. He did wonders at Hoffenheim. I'm pretty sure he took Hoffenheim to the Champions League as well for the very first time. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leipzig, it took Leipzig to Champions League semi-finals. They were playing some scintillating football. And then he finally got his first break at Bayern Munich. And he's been a long-term fan of Bayern Munich since he was a little kid. So it was a massive, massive opportunity for him. And Bayern Munich, it was a world record fee to get the services of Julian Nagelsmann. And within 1.5 years, the ruthless sacking, it's been a massive shock. Was he playing well at Bayern Munich? Of course he was. He was flawless in Champions League, all wins against Barcelona, Inter Milan, and Victoria Plaza, I believe. And then in the second round with PSG, 2 out of 2 wins in the second round. So of course, it's from a tactical point of view, I've got no issues. I think his Bayern they weren't flawless at the end, but in the group stages, they were playing some amazing football. One thing I do want to point out about Nagelsmann is that it's very fluid, not just a fluid front three, it's fluid everywhere. You can find players playing in many different positions depending on how the mood of the game sort of materializes all throughout the match. Sometimes you'll see, as I've said previously, Leroy Sané at right wing back. Sometimes you'll see Serge Gnabry at left wing back, but then they'll move towards the wing position, the striking position. Joshua Kimmich at times was in between the two CBs. Leon Goretzka was sometimes the furthest player forward. So look, it may take, in my personal opinion, a bit of time for some of the players to grasp into his philosophy and his style of play. But if we are patient enough, I think there can be the fruits. We can see the fruits of it. However, my concerns are, and I want to share this tweet, right? I want to share this tweet with you guys. I just tweeted this out. There are some distinct concerns that I have in regards to this particular situation. These are my concerns. Huge fallout with Manuel Neuer. Intimidated fallout with Sadio Mane. Now, let's talk about these. For the very first time, he gets a job at Bayern Munich. That's his first big job, right? No disrespect to Hoffenheim or Leipzig. Once he came to Bayern Munich, Bayern have a huge fan base. And his first job, he came across some big personalities. And looks like by the end of it, it went absolutely south. At Chelsea Football Club, can Nagelsmann handle our fan base, which is who are ruthless, who are critical, can be downright dangerous at times, abusive at times. Can he handle that? Because you best believe, as much as we want to be patient with Nagelsmann, you still cannot have the level of performance Potter and Lampard is having right now. Like, we will be patient. Maybe next season, if he does get acquired as a full-time Chelsea manager, maybe next season the target might be top 6, considering we're going to be finishing 12, 13, 14, God knows what. Maybe the target for next season might be, let's get back to top 6. And then after that, we'll see what happens. I think that is probably the realistic way to go about things. I know a lot of people will top 6? Nah, man, top 4 immediately. Look, I'm just being a bit lenient about this. But if he has the kind of record that Potter and Lamps is having right now, you best believe, like, the fan base will flip. Again, they will flip. They have every right to flip because that's not the standard. Can Nagelsmann handle those sort of situations when the fans are putting them on the pressure, putting him under the pressure, and putting the board and the owners under the pressure? Can he handle some of the egos? People talk about who are the egos. As I said, money. They earn a lot of money, man. They won't be treated like Mickey Mouse. They want to all be the front page. They all want to be, the headline story. They want to start. And next season, not having European football, guaranteed we're not going to have European football. You best believe there will be some players that are going to be disgruntled. Does he have the capacity, the gut to manage this situation? It's not Hoffenheim and Leipzig here. This is Chelsea Football Club. Enzo Fernandez, Mudryk, Jermaine, Reece James. Like, these are big players, right? These are big players, big money. Mudryk, big money. Sooner or later, if things don't go for their way, can you handle that? And I hope he can. I hope this is where I feel like Mikel Arteta did a fine job at Arsenal Football Club, and the board backed them. And the board backed his decision. He made some big calls. No Oba. No this, no that. People, had to move on. And they backed Arteta. Can our board in those big decisions back Nagelsmann? And can Nagelsmann handle those situations in the best possible manner? 5 out of 10 Bundesliga record before sacking. These are some of the stats that were flowing around before he got sacked. The record was 5 out of 10 Bundesliga wins. So once again, that's probably not going to be entirely. Maybe that for Chelsea Football Club in the first season might be okay. 50% win rate just before. Maybe that could be appreciated, but in the long run, there has to be good consistency. Sudden fallout with Kahn and Salihamidzic. I think from a board point of view, Nagelsmann should be okay. But can our owners take a backward step? Can they sort of step away for a little bit, or are they gonna intervene all the time? This is something to think about. Maybe our owners will continue intervening. Can Nagelsmann work with that? Or is he going to be too vocal about that situation? Me personally, I don't want our owners to step in too much. I don't want them to intervene. But history suggests, from the short time that we've seen, they want to be involved. Can he work with that? Mental state after a ruthless sacking. Look, that if we wait till the end of the season to get his services, maybe he might get over the sacking that he had with Bayern Munich. But then again, it could still be a bit fresh. Someone like Thomas Tuchel, he took a bit of time. He took a bit of time away to just reset a little bit. Has Nagelsmann had the time to reset? So these are some of the things that I'm worried about with Julian Nagelsmann. Can he manage all of this stuff at Chelsea Football Club? It's things to think about. So, look, once again, as I said, and we're going to wrap things up over here. I don't mind Julian Nagelsmann coming through to Chelsea Football Club. What I am worried about is, can he command the respect? You can be a great tactician, but can you get the players buying? Will they look at you as someone who's, young? He is 35. We've had a young manager previously with Andres Villas-Boas. Some of the players didn't respect him. And I know back then we had unbelievable players. We don't have those caliber of players right now. But still, this is a new modern era of players now. They don't seem to care too much about anyone. I need a particular manager that's not going to be laughed behind the back, just like Graham Potter was getting laughed around. Harry Potter, Hogwarts, this, that, the other. Can he demand respect, command respect? That's the first thing. No problems with you having great tactics, But if the players don't respect you, they will not carry out your tactics. As simple as that. And we cannot have our next manager fail after 12 months, because that will be, once again, massively detrimental to the entire course of everything. This is why I like someone like Luis Enrique, because he's seen it all. He's managed some of the biggest egos. He's managed some of the biggest fan base in terms of Barcelona. He's got that experience. Not, I know a lot of people will say, Nagelsmann's managed more teams, than he's managed more games in club football than Luis Enrique. It's not about that. It's just about that experience in life. Luis Enrique has that. I just feel like Luis Enrique will be better able to handle our owners, our board members, our fan base, the players that we have. I think that's very, very important. Along with, Enrique's tactics is not Mickey Mouse tactics. Far more structured. And I think, structure is something that our playing group needs. Whereas Nagelsmann's philosophy and his playing style is a lot more, fluid and open all over the field, which will take, in my opinion, some time. So, yeah, look, as I said, the final line, whoever the next manager is, board, the owners, they'll have to back his big decisions, and they will need to give some freedom to the manager to make some calls as well. Who they want in, who they want to let go of. It's very, very important. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in regards to everything we've talked about. Do you have any concerns in regards to Nagelsmann? Are you happy to get Nagelsmann? Would you have preference for another manager in the likes of Luis Enrique? Let me know in the comment section how you feel about this situation. One thing's for certainty, Frank Lampard ain't getting the job full-time. That's been said. Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that. I think it's a no-brainer. We can see that already. I would like the new manager to come in right now to just get the remaining parts of the season and assess the situation and hit the ground running in the preseason. But we may have to wait around till the end of the season. So let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys for live tomorrow. Until then, see ya.